Hi, my name is Leah Bailey. I have chosen to do my curriculum model research on full-day kindergartens within Ontario. I have chosen this curriculum model as I believe it can have a major impact on the development of young children. Now let me give you a little bit of background on full-day kindergartens within Ontario. Between the years of 2010 and 2012, a study of full-day kindergartens was conducted in partnership with Queen's and McMaster universities. Researchers wanted to do a variety of quantitative and qualitative evaluation methods determining the impact of full-day kindergartens and identify effective practices to improve the delivery of the program moving forward. During the time of research, it was determined those children enrolled within full-day kindergartens had demonstrated greater success with accelerated development when they entered grade 1, while providing them with a smoother transition into school. Children demonstrated reduced risks in social competence, language and cognitive development, as well as communication skills and general knowledge development. Now I have a video I would like to share with you based on a mother who was unsure of placing her son in a full-day kindergarten program. As the child grew familiar with his surroundings and the educators did what they needed to do to make his learning experience the best possible, his mother soon changed her mind regarding full-day kindergarten.
We were hesitant about the full-day program for Alex because we didn't think that he would do well with coming to school every day, that he would be extremely tired. The full-day kindergarten has been phenomenal. The team environment with the combination of the teacher and the ECE has been great, combined with the play learning, seems really to have worked.
So they're smelling it with their nose right now. At the beginning of this school year, there were a lot of parents that were concerned that the day was going to be too long. By mid to late November, sitting down with the parents and having interviews with the parents, their minds had totally changed.
Our kids, most of them are reading now, and the parents can feel the success that's happening in the classroom. They know that the kids are doing really well, and that makes them happy.
What's your favorite thing to do in kindergarten?
Work.
Work.
You like to work.
He likes to work. He has just grown by leaps and bounds in terms of socialization with his peers and singing songs and knowing his numbers and his addition. I couldn't have asked for a better program. It works for us. It works for Alex. We're really happy with it.
So as we have learned throughout our studies, children learn best through play. Within full-day kindergartens, educators implement a play-based learning environment, enabling children to explore and use their creative imaginations through the variety of materials and activities. Children learn to establish a strong foundation for learning through the 4 elements of how does learning happen. Educators focus on making each child feel a sense of belonging by providing them with materials and activities that support their developmental needs. Children will learn the importance of accepting all diversities and cultures by interacting with their peers who present unique qualities within the classroom environment. Children will learn to make decisions collaboratively, developing a sense of community. Within full-day kindergartens, educators will be provided with opportunities based on their individual strengths and weaknesses, encouraging them to explore their curiosities within the natural world around them. Educators will encourage children to ask questions, test their theories, and solve problems while becoming engaged in creative and analytical thinking. Within the classroom environment, children will have the opportunity to play alongside other children, learn how to positively interact with others, creating strong, trusting relationships amongst their peers. They will learn how to monitor their emotions, thoughts, and feelings within the environment around them through the use of gestures, physical movements, words, symbols, representations, and the use of materials. Educators will address the importance of physical and mental health through incorporating exercise and healthy nutrition into children's daily routines. Children will learn how to regulate their emotions, adapt to distractions, and assess consequences through their play experiences with the guidance of educators. So I have some pictures here that I would like to share with you. I've come across some within a kindergarten environment actually, and it'll just give you a better understanding of how the 4 elements are supported within the environment.
So within this image, you can see the children presenting a sense of belonging through demonstrating connectedness to one another. The children have found materials within their environment that support their individual developmental needs. Both children are allowing the other to participate within their play experience, accepting all unique qualities that may be presented. Within this image, You can see the child is actively engaged within his play experience. The child is exploring his skills, abilities, needs, and interests through the environment around him. Within this image, the two young girls are expressing their creative imaginations through the use of pencil crayons and paper. Within this image, a group of children are developing a sense of self, health, and well-being through physical activity. Through this experience, the children will learn to regulate their emotions, adapt to distractions, and assess consequences. They are learning to respect themselves and others.
So as you were able to observe the photographs above, you were able to see more clearly in how the 4 elements of how does learning happen are developed within the full-day kindergarten curriculum. However, educators are regularly looking for new methods and strategies in which they can better support these foundations. So I have a couple of recommendations on how the curriculum may better support these elements. One may be decreasing the amounts of time spent indoors and increasing the amount of time spent outdoors. In doing so, the children will have a better opportunity to become engaged, exploring their natural curiosities, allowing them to make connections and contributions to the environment surrounding them. Another recommendation that I have would be encouraging further family involvement. The curriculum may include a day a month where families are able to come into the classroom and become engaged within their child's learning experiences. Families will have the opportunity to view the child's learning while having the option to provide any necessary feedback to the educators at that point in time. With additional family support, children will feel a stronger sense of well-being, which will lead to greater learning experiences. So as I've highlighted the key elements of full-day kindergartens within Ontario and how the 4 elements of how does learning happen are implemented within the classroom environment, I want to give you a little bit of knowledge regarding how educators observe, plan, implement, document, and assess the children's learning experiences. Within full-day kindergartens, teachers and educators will work together to implement effective materials and activities for each child. While children are engaged throughout their play experiences, educators will use a variety of observational methods, including anecdotal observations, running records, running narratives, charting, event samples, or time samples to help identify the skills, abilities, needs, and interests of each child. The educator may also gather additional information from the child's family regarding the cultural background of the child. Once observations and collaborations with the children and families have been analyzed, the educators will use their findings to plan and implement the next steps for the child's learning. Educators will begin the implementation process by determining the materials needed while making recognition of space and time provided. When setting up the classroom environment, educators will view the space provided from a child's perspective to ensure materials are reachable and in sufficient learning areas. These areas that are created will allow for quick and sufficient changes to support a variety of learning styles and diverse needs. The materials that are placed within these areas will reflect the strengths, needs, capabilities, and interests of each child that were determined throughout the observational process. Educators will work around daily school schedules to ensure children are provided with as much uninterrupted time as possible, minimizing transitions. As the children explore and engage within these materials, the educators will analyze the children's behavior and learning to make necessary adjustments when needed. Once the implementation process is underhand, the educators will begin to assess and document the learning presented amongst the children. This may include taking photographs, video clips, and direct quotes based on the children's thinking, what they wonder about, and the ideas that pique their interests. This documentation will be visible for families, other educators, and the children themselves to view, and will be encouraged to engage questioning and dialogue to understand their thoughts, which will help them in determining the child's developmental needs and diverse backgrounds. This will help the educator understand a greater depth of the child's learning, help to find new strategies to extend their learning experiences. So now that I've gone through how educators observe, plan, implement, document, and assess children's learning within full-day kindergartens, I have an example I would like to share with you to give you a better visual.
So within this image, the educators would have observed the children's interest and may have noticed an interest in flowers perhaps. The educator then would have planned and implemented an art activity in which the children were able to express their developmental interests through the use of paper and paint. The educator then would have engaged within conversation with the children, assessing the learning that occurred throughout the experience. The educator took the images created by the children and posted to a learning board in which families and other educators could view. The children and educators will now have documentation to look back on and to find new ways in which they can extend the children's learning.
So overall, I believe full-day kindergartens within Ontario can provide children with many developmental benefits prior to beginning school. For those of you interested in learning more about full-day kindergartens within Ontario, I recommend checking out the Ontario Ministry of Education's website at www.edu.gov.on.ca/kindergarten. Within this document, you will gain additional information regarding the benefits this program has for children, the play-based environment itself, fees and subsidies, the educators working with the children, how to better prepare children for beginning full-day kindergartens, and a wide range of additional resources. This website will help give greater clarity on full-day kindergartens within Ontario. Thank you.